the two deep cranking tournaments that we had, Gunnersville and Kentucky Lake, I finished in the top 10 in both of them, and I'll guarantee you I idled over about 5 places. But I spent about 30 some hours cranking in practice, in 3 days of practice, or more, probably more time than that. So I found the fish with the bait. If you fish the bait that much, you learn, you know, like I was talking about, you become one with your bait. You feel the differences. Well, that's like 6 feet deep. I can just tell. I don't need to look at my depth finder. I know how deep it is. I can fire out there. I made 3 or 4 cranks in my handle, and I hit the bottom. That's 6, 7 feet deep. It's too shallow. You know, I fire out there. I make a whole cast. I don't hit anything. Well, I threw too deep. I threw off the channel. So I mean, I don't have to look. You can look at your depth finder and help keep you at whatever depth you want to stay at. Follow the contour breaks, so forth. But you become one with that bait, and you can feel everything down there, and that's where you find the fish. That's how you go up there and you can find, that's mud. You're not going to catch squat out of mud. Throwing, and then all of a sudden you hit that different. There he is, and you get that bite, kick the buoy over, fire around there, make sure there's a school there, see if there's a school, and then once you're done, if you want to, you can idle over it, and you'll be surprised at what you see. More than likely, you'll see nothing. I can't tell you the places that I fished at, let's say at Gunnersville, for example. I'm out there and I'm firing around, and I found these little honey spots, little honey holes. I mean, you know, you're catching 30 and 40 fish. And then you idle up and you idle over them, and when I say you don't see anything, I mean you don't see any cover. Like once you get those fish fired up, they're all suspended up off the bottom and all everything, and it looks like you see all these fish, but that's because you stirred them up. You see all these, you idle over those places, and it might be like 10 foot, and then it goes to 11, and then it's 11. It didn't look like anything. I idled right over that. I wouldn't have thought anything of that spot. No, I mean, I would have just said, that's nothing. But no, it wasn't. It was something. They were on it, and you never would have found that unless you had that rod and reel in your hand. If you were idling over it, you'd have just kept on trucking. Or you'd have had no way to see them. Yes, sir.
So you find a nice hump.
Uh-huh.
Sure. I read years ago that your boat is supposed to be positioned half of a cast length away from that hump. So by the time your bait starts to get down to its maximum working depth, it's hitting the cover.
I've had that question before. A guy was trying to be a smart aleck and asked me, you know, if your bait hits, how far does it, you know, how far past the cover do you throw it to hit the cover, to hit the piece of cover? Well, as a general rule of thumb, however deep it is, you want to throw twice that far past it. So if you're trying to go 10 feet deep, you'll throw at least 20 feet past it to get it to go down there. That's, you know, just if you're wanting a general idea, that's kind of how it is. But if you're with your bait, start before that hump. You don't have to get all the way up on that hump. Start before that hump. Start firing over there. Start a little left, a little right, a little left, a little right, forward, a little left, a little right, and work your way up to it. And then, I mean, sometimes those fish might actually be out on the outer edge of it. They might be on the back side of it. You got to let that bait will tell you where they are. And there's probably I don't think there's any better search bait for deep fishing than a deep diving crankbait.
When you're retrieving, where's your visual focus? Are you line watching or trying to look for your next target?
What am I looking at when I'm fishing?
When you're deep fishing.
A lot of times I look at my surroundings, and I look at my depth finder probably 5 or 6 times each cast, just because I'm watching to see if there's any depth changes. It's, you know, just because I'm visualizing a lot of what it was underwater, and I'm using my bait to tell me what it is. If I cast over there and it hits an 8 feet, I know it's a little higher. If I fire over there and I don't hit anything, I was like, well, that's at least 20. So 8, 20, my boat's in 12. I know that there's a drop right there somewhere. And if I move my boat a little left, I'm going to keep watching my depth finder, keep trying to visualize what I'm doing. There's a lot of concentration down there. Deep diving crankbait fishing, especially in practice, and even in tournament, when you're trying to figure out where these fish are, it's mentally draining. But to me, it's a game.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.